So welcome to a brand new Webisode. It's Monday, and it's actually 9:35, and I should be on the air. I'm here at Studio J, my office in Earl Valley. But CenturyLink decided to go and do a hardware update, software update. Didn't realize I was doing a show, I guess. No, that's typical. Of course, you know, internet providers are going to go and do updates all the time. Would have been nice if they had informed their customers, but I guess most individuals aren't relying on the internet the way that I would be relying on the internet. So it gives me the opportunity to go and do a webisode. I want to talk about Avengers and get into a little bit more of what I got into on the show. The movie is, you know, sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they really, really get it right. And they really, really got it right with Avengers. And again, it goes without saying, I'm a huge movie fan anyways. And I've really enjoyed all of the Marvel Avengers films. The only one I didn't really care for was Incredible Hulk, for whatever reason. I wish they would go back, and hopefully they will now, and do another Incredible Hulk using Mark Ruffalo this time, since they switched the actor from Edward Norton before. But even in Avengers, they finally got the Incredible Hulk right, because I didn't really care for either of the first two, Hulk or the Incredible Hulk. But you're looking at a movie that already, just from a comic book standpoint, pleasing movie fan standpoint, was going to be hard to pull off anyhow, considering you had so many A-list compelling characters that can and have had their own movies. So it's a testament to the director, Joss Whedon, that he was able to even make a great film, given that fact. You know, on top of it, you've got a situation where you almost would have been given a free pass if the movie hadn't been good, because of that fact. I mean, it's a movie that you could absolutely get wrong very easily, and I think a lot of people would have given it a free pass if it had, but it didn't. There's something else about the film, though, and Avengers is being released at the precisely right moment for it to succeed. With so much uncertainty in the country, with this election upon us, Mitt Romney now for the most part being the nominee, even though it's not officially happened yet, you have a situation where this movie, with its themes, is going to do very, very well. In the film, Loki, the god, is trying to convince the human race that freedom isn't really what you want. What you want is to be ruled over. Only then can you truly be happy. And there's a moment in the film where he says this. Now, of course, he's the Joker, he's the liar, he's the one, his silver tongue is what he's famous for. So, obviously, he doesn't even buy into this, but it's his path to power. And there's a moment in the film where he's that blatant about it. He's talking to Captain America in one of the first altercations that he has with the Avengers. And before Captain America shows up, he's got this crowd before him, and he's telling them to kneel before him. You want to be ruled. You don't really want freedom. And he says this a few times in the film. And it really struck a chord with me. I mean, this was, in my mind, liberals personified, who want to subversively, if not as blatant as Loki did, tell voters, you don't really want to be free. You want us to watch over you and to cater to you. It's the nanny state. And of course, Captain America comes in and says, yeah, I'm having none of that at all. There's another moment in the film where Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D. is meeting Captain America for the first time, and he geeks out over Captain America and tells him what a huge fan he is. And of course, he's kind of updating him on what's going on, because Captain America's, was frozen, if you saw the Captain America movie, and so he missed a whole portion of history. And there's a moment in the film where Coulson tells Captain America, he's like, look, I've upgraded your suit. And Captain America says, it still has the stars and stripes. He goes, well, yeah. And Captain America goes, well, don't you think that's a little old-fashioned? And Coulson goes, well, I think right now, you know, the world needs, the country needs a little old-fashioned. And I don't think the director, I could be wrong, and I don't assume when it comes to playing off of themes that have been around for a long, long time that the director has any other intention other than making a great movie. I don't think that usually they go for that. I mean, they could. Okay, but I think usually they're just trying to go for making a good movie. You know, the reverse of that would be Cars 2. And I still do, the writer of Cars 2 and the director of the first and second Cars, you know, ended up making the villain being Big Oil in Cars 2, and it just ruined the movie for me. Just the theme of it, it bugged me. This time with Avengers, they got it right in terms of the message they were trying to convey. You don't see that very often in films. But its theme and those elements playing out right now, and at this moment in our history, where you have, in my opinion, this liberal villain who wants you to believe you don't really want freedom. You want to have somebody over you who is making all the decisions for you. Then you're free. And you've got his army, the Shatteris. They give him this army, which I equated to, for me, the media, who are out there trying to help him. Now, of course, in the movie, they're flying around and destroying things, and that's different. But the centralized theme is Loki can't do it alone. He needs to have minions to go and help with this. And then you have the Avengers, who all have different talents and different skills, some natural, some supernatural. They don't even get along with each other a lot of the times. This is a battle that won't be definitively won. It'll be a constant struggle as the studios make a ton of money over sequels. But even when they fight each other sometimes, and they don't always get along, they're still fighting a common bond, and they defeat the enemy with that common bond, with that common directive. By joining together, they're all trying to get after the same thing. And subconsciously, consciously, it's going to tap right into the psyche of what we're all dealing with here in the United States right now. And it's going to make a ton of money for repeat viewings because of that. It was blatant in its patriotism, and it was blatant in its desire to show what real freedom is and how you fight to keep it and what's at stake. Not to mention the fact that it's just a fantastic, fun movie. You know, 2 hours and 20 minutes is long, but I bet if you go back and you clock 20 minutes of the time they spent in the narrative of crafting that storyline of freedom versus liberty and patriotism, those are the elements that the studio could have cut out. And thankfully, to the film's credit, they didn't, because all those moments are needed. It's one of those movies that every scene has purpose and is meaningful. You take one scene out and it doesn't work as well. So this is why I love movies, because there's a power behind them where they can transcend. You know, you want to talk about art, that's my art for me. So hopefully you've seen it. I didn't see it in 3D yet, so I'm going to go see it in 3D. My wife's seen it twice, for crying out loud. Before I did. That's how good of a film it is. So, all right, I'm going to check to see if my internet's back up, if I can get on the air for another 15 minutes or so. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.